Caitlin Clark, the name that's been driving record-breaking ratings, sold-out arenas, and a once-in-a-generation spotlight on the WNBA, is out, just like that. One hard foul, one awkward fall, and the face of the league is sidelined with a left quad injury. But this isn't just a story about an injury. This is about everything that led to it, and everything the league ignored until it was too late. Because now, the whispers are turning into roars. Was this really just a freak accident? Or did the WNBA set Caitlin Clark up to fail? It happened in a flash. A defender stepped in late, Clark went airborne, and then slammed the hardwood, her leg bending in a way no leg should. Fans went silent. Trainers rushed in. And not long after, the Fever confirmed the worst. Clark would be out at least 2 weeks with a quad strain. But that wasn't the full story. In fact, sources close to the team say doctors aren't convinced this is just a minor issue. Some believe Clark may have been playing through something much worse, and that final hit was the breaking point. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. Reports say medical professionals are privately urging the league to investigate how officiating has enabled this moment. Let that sink in. Doctors, not fans, not pundits, but doctors are calling out the referees. Let's rewind. This wasn't Caitlin's first red flag. Before the season even tipped off, she missed the Fever's preseason opener with what they called left quad tightness. Same leg, same area, different label. She got a few days off, then was tossed back into full-speed action with full expectations. And in those opening games, something felt off. Her three-point shots kept coming up short. Her drives lacked explosion. Cameras even caught her on the bench mid-game, heat-wrapping her leg, a move no fully healthy athlete ever makes. Still, no one hit the brakes. Not her coaches, not the staff, not the league. And then came the moment that changed everything. The foul. The clip has been replayed thousands of times because it doesn't lie. The defender stepped in late, made full body contact, and made no effort to play the ball. Clark hit the floor hard, twisted up, and stayed down. Yes, a whistle was blown, but not a flagrant, not an ejection, just a routine call in a game where nothing was routine anymore. For months, Clark had been absorbing hits like this, game after game. This time, her body couldn't take another one. And now, the officiating that allowed it might be facing its first real reckoning. This wasn't a one-time hit. It was a season-long pattern. From her very first game, Clark has been grabbed off the ball, bodied on screens, and knocked down with zero consequence. The physicality wasn't just tough defense, it was reckless. And while other WNBA stars get the benefit of the whistle, Clark was expected to just eat it. No flagrant calls, no techs, just silence. And with every no call, a message was sent. This rookie hasn't earned protection. But here's the truth. This wasn't about earning it. It was about the league's refusal to defend its own asset. They let it happen. It's not just the officiating that failed, it's the system. Clark was already hurt. Everyone could see it, except the people who were supposed to protect her. When Coach Stephanie White was asked when the injury happened, she didn't even know. The team only realized something was wrong when Clark told them, after the game. Think about that. The most valuable player in the league was hiding pain just to stay on the court. Why? Because she felt like she had no choice. The pressure, the spotlight, the expectation, all while her body was signaling it was breaking down. And now, the WNBA is staring at a financial and public relations nightmare. When Clark's injury was announced, refund requests started flying in. Cities like Chicago had moved games to bigger arenas just for her, and now they're scrambling to fill empty seats. Broadcasters who paid top dollar for Clark-featured matchups are rethinking ad buys. Ratings are already dipping, and teams that built entire marketing campaigns around her are hitting the panic button, because this wasn't a league-wide boom. This was a Clark bubble, and it just popped. But if you thought the business hit was bad, the fan reaction was worse. Real basketball fans were devastated, but a disturbing number of WNBA fans, they celebrated. The replies to the Indiana Fever's announcement were flooded with party emojis, sarcastic jokes, and full-blown mockery. A 23-year-old woman just got seriously hurt, and some rival fan bases were thrilled. This isn't just trolling, it's hate. And it's the same hate that's been following Clark all season long. On the court, in the media, online. A targeted campaign of resentment wrapped in rivalry. And it's toxic. And while all of this boiled over online, one voice was noticeably absent: the league itself. No press conference, no public support from Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, no call for officiating reform, just silence. The same silence that's defined their handling of Clark all year long. When she got elbowed in the face, nothing. When she got hip-checked to the ground, nothing. When rivals mocked her online, nothing. The league's biggest star was left to fend for herself, and now that she's injured, they have no plan, no accountability, and no answers. With Clark out, the Indiana Fever are a shell of themselves. Their offensive rating dropped from 107.5 with her to 82.2 without her. That's not a decline, that's a collapse. And now the pressure's on. Aaliyah Boston, last year's Rookie of the Year, is expected to become the focal point. Kelsey Mitchell has to not only score, but create. Lexi Hall, Sophie Cunningham, Natasha Howard, they all have to step up. No more hiding behind the Caitlin Clark show. The identity crisis is real. And the schedule isn't doing them any favors. Washington, Connecticut, and Chicago are all hungry. If the Fever don't find their footing now, they may not recover. But this isn't just Indiana's problem, it's the NBA's reckoning. Because this injury didn't just sideline a player, it exposed a broken system. The WNBA put all its chips on one rookie to carry the league into the mainstream, and when that rookie needed them, they vanished. There was no long-term strategy, no diversified spotlight, no plan B, just Clark. And now, the cost is becoming clear. Ratings freefall, ticket sales crumble, and sponsors backpedal. This wasn't a fluke, and it was a failure of leadership, of protection, of foresight. But Caitlin Clark, she's not done. This forced break might be the best thing that ever happened to her. She finally gets to heal, to regroup, to study the game from the sidelines and return smarter, sharper, and more dangerous than ever. And when she does, the league better be ready, because fans won't accept the same silence. Not again. If the WNBA wants to keep the momentum Clark gave them, they need to change. Fast. No more ignoring dangerous fouls. No more silence in the face of hate. No more sacrificing your biggest star to protect outdated narratives. This is their second chance. Let's hope they don't waste it. Drop a get well soon CC in the comments if you're rooting for her comeback. And if you believe the WNBA needs to do better, hit that like button and subscribe, because this story, it's far from over. But Caitlin Clark, she's not done. This forced break might be the best thing that ever happened to her. She finally gets to heal, to regroup, to study the game from the sidelines, and return smarter, sharper, and more dangerous than ever. And when she does, the league better be ready, because fans won't accept the same silence. Not again. If the WNBA wants to keep the momentum Clark gave them, they need to change. Fast. No more ignoring dangerous fouls. No more silence in the face of hate. No more sacrificing your biggest star to protect outdated narratives. This is their second chance. Let's hope they don't waste it. And let's be honest, this wasn't just about Clark. Her injury exposed a bigger issue that's haunted the league for years, a refusal to evolve. While the world tuned in for Clark's magic, the WNBA clung to the same broken playbook. They resisted embracing new stars. They downplayed legitimate concerns. They let personal rivalries, jealous fan bases, and inconsistent officiating dictate the storylines when they should have been building something bigger, a league that's diverse, competitive, and most importantly, safe for its players, because right now, players are watching. Young women in college, future stars in high school, they're all taking notes. And if what they see is a league that lets its brightest talent get beaten down, mocked, and left to recover in silence, what kind of message does that send? The WNBA can't grow if it doesn't protect its future, and Caitlin Clark is the future, whether they like it or not. So when she returns, and she will return, it's not just about her comeback. It's about accountability, about building something that lasts, not a moment, a movement. Because this isn't just sports anymore, it's a battle for what kind of league the WNBA wants to be. One that steps up, or one that fades away. Drop a get well soon CC in the comments if you're rooting for Caitlin's comeback. And if you think it's time for the WNBA to wake up and do better, hit that like button so the message gets louder. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the story's not over. In fact, it's just getting started.